What's up, guys? Welcome back to another live stream. This is a little bit of a different setup. I'm going to be talking about setting up a South American cichlid tank. I've been getting a lot of questions on why I set up all my tanks to kind of look like South American tanks. And that's because it's a simple reason. I'm completely obsessed with the way they look. Hitting up the chat here, Michigan Aquatics says, I'm first. The side right says, hey, Matt's Fish Keeping is here. Michigan Aquatics says, dang, Parrot Aquatics. What's up, Chris? It's happy to see you guys here. Tech Turtle's here. By the way, Tech Turtle, I was checking out your channel the other day. I actually really love your channel. So, anyway, there's a bunch of people jumping in, talking about how to set up a South American cichlid tank. And this is, I am kind of a victim of setting up a South American tank, but not the purest or realist of setting it up, in a sense of I'm setting it up for ease. Like, for instance, a lot of these are, or actually all of those are fake plants you see. And I get tons of questions about this plant in particular. This is a seller on Amazon that sells these plants, and I trick people all the time in thinking that it's actually real Anubias. But anyways, by the way, I'll throw a link in the description box. I'll give you a close zoom up of that plant. It actually looks really cool, and sometimes what I'll do is I'll trim up, because the bottom of the plant comes with like this purpley veiny looking stuff, and right away what I'll do is I'll trim that off, and it kind of gives it that vibe of a real Anubias plant. So, and essentially, when setting up a South American tank, God, what's my phone doing here? When setting up a South American tank, I'm doing this on my phone, by the way, so it's going to be a little different. The camera's being funny. It doesn't like setting up on the tripod. Anyways, the basics of a South American tank. I would say you're going to have to start with trying to replicate those dark waters. So what I always do is I'll start with a dark colored gravel. And recently, my favorite color gravel is mixing natural gravel with black gravel, and that kind of looks like this. I know I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but I want to give you some easy fixes on how to get that dark look. And you can kind of see it here. This is a 50% mixture of the gravel that is black gravel with natural gravel. All right, so anyways, the core basics here. Essentially what I do is I go out in the woods and I look for hard wood branches, and what I'll do is I mainly stick to oak, but it's really going to determine where you live in the world, where you are in the US. And essentially what I do is just look for little branches, and a lot of people need to have driftwood. That's really not, it's not the case, because essentially what driftwood is it's just wood that's been sitting in water for a very long time, that's been beaten with waves. But you don't absolutely need that. And what you want to watch for when finding small little branches is just try to make sure that all the bark has fallen off, because the bark is going to be what deteriorates and rots in your tank. This is a cool little branch I found. I have a pile of branches like this behind my garage that is like 6 feet tall, because I grew obsessed with just finding cool little pieces of wood like this, in this instance, that you can just toss in your tank. And what happens with this, the piece of wood, for the first like 6 months, it kind of grows a gelatin on there, but just keep up with cleaning it. I swear after 6 months, it's going to look a lot better. And the key is to make sure it is a hard wood, because if you're throwing like soft pines in there and stuff, it's just going to deteriorate faster and rot and just wreck your water parameters. And a lot of people overthink the whole South American tank, like, because I know South America, the Amazon is very soft water, and they think that all this wood in your water is going to soften it like crazy. But the bitter truth of it is that it's not going to happen that fast, because you're doing water changes on a bi-weekly process, and it's just, your water is going to get a little softer. But it's same with the tannins. And you are going to get some tannins in your water, but it's not just going to be like super detrimental, or super drastic, I should say. All right, so what I do is I start with a dark gravel, stack it with wood, throw in some plants. You can do Anubias if you want to. I literally use fake plants. This bamboo plant made by Marineland is super popular. I know it's kind of a cliche go-to plant, that a lot of newbie beginner fish keepers use and make look kind of bad. But I think in the right parameters, it can look kind of cool. So I have a ton of these plants, and it is what it is. And to add to the darkness of the water, what I like to do is add some floating plants in there. That's not necessarily a realistic replica of the Amazon, but it's still pretty cool. So Lisa's Fishbowl is here. She says, I love your angels. Yeah, this is kind of a weird tank. These angels were breeding for the longest time, and I couldn't handle the aggression, and I didn't want to raise angels right now. So what I did was I put some other fish in there to kind of disperse the aggression, and what I did was I threw in some fire mouse and some rainbow cichlids, and I have a flower horn, or it's either a flower horn or a red Texas to kind of like be the most aggressor in the tank, and he really helps split up the breeding aggression that's going to take place. So really though, essentially dark gravel, you're creating that dark habitat. I even DIY'd this light. Essentially this is just a 4-foot T8 fixture with some super glued light LED diodes in there. I got it on Amazon. I have a bunch of tutorials on building my own lights. This works very good with the floating plants, but if you're looking to do live plants, you're gonna need to find a light that has a full spectrum, like the Flugel 2.0 or the 3.0. There's just, with floating plants, you might be able to get away with it with Anubias with that. It's just a 6000K LED diodes, and it doesn't give it all the spectrum it needs, but it's still working. God, this is weird doing on my phone. I can't see anybody in the chat. It's kind of scary. I only see people popping up once in a great while. Jason Klein says, I have a large pink kisser, and that's all I see, and it's gone. So, I gotta get a new LED, says Lisa. All right, let's move back to the desk because I'm kind of freaking out here. I'm gonna try to get everything situated here a little better. I'm dying to pull up the chat because I like to see who's here and whatnot. But South American tanks, guys, at heart, they will always be like my absolute favorite. And I feel like people that are obsessed with the dark waters of the Amazon, once you get down the wormhole of building those tanks, you really never leave, because it's just, and what I do is, even though I push the parameters with sticking other fish in South American tank setups, and like I will mix a lot of Central American cichlids with my South American cichlids. And sometimes people troll in the comments, but you can realistically do whatever you want. Like I know JH Aquatics, his channel, he is also obsessed with the dark waters and throwing a lot of leaf litter in his tanks. He'll literally add up like 4 inches of leaf litter to get those black tannins in the water, and I'm absolutely obsessed with this idea. It gives like the fish a place to hide essentially, and I think it gives me a better peace of mind knowing that my fish are secure, because a lot of these fish like to hide. I babble about it all the time. It's just, yeah. Lisa's Fishbowl says, I just got a bristlenose too, Michigan. Yes, Lisa, we saw that bristlenose, and it's absolutely insane. I can't believe the size of that thing. Oh wow, I'm three subscribers away from 18,000. That's gonna be cool when I hit that. All right, so I want to bring up the chat here. I want to see who's all hanging out, because I really like to. I like the chat, man. That's why I do it. That's why I'm obsessed with this live streaming. So I just figured I get so many questions regarding my South American setups, and the most cliche South American setups are usually the geophagus fish, and I have those in some other tanks. But if you do a geotank correctly, all right, my phone's freaking out. After this live stream, I'm definitely gonna go back to the regular camera. So Aquaballs is here. Can I get a like 500-600 of those subscribers? My tap pH is so high, 7.9. Yes, Parrot Aquatics. I know the struggle. I have like liquid rock here too, but that doesn't mean that you can't keep South American fish, because they're very, very adaptable, and you can easily bring that down with a little bit of work. And if you slowly acclimate pretty much any South American fish, you can keep them in hard water. So Aquaball says, I just returned my flower horn, wasn't eating, and going to get the other one. That's cool. God, my phone is just bothering the heck out of me. I hate live streaming on phones. Lisa, I just got him because he looks cool and he's a white seam. A white som? I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe you're talking about a green terror. So yeah, if any of you guys keep South American cichlid tank setups, how do you go about creating them? Like, I think essentially, a lot of people try to overlight it too. Like, they'll get too big of a light, and I think it's really important to have like half of your tank not heavily lighted. Might want to keep a South American tank in the far future, says Ethan. Yes, I think what's super popular right now is keeping Central American fish, and what you do is you get some terracotta pots, you get a super bright light, and essentially you're just trying to breed them and try to make a lot of money breeding them. And that seems to be one of the most popular things right now, because I feel like people think they're going to get rich by breeding a lot of these Central American fish like red Texas, green Texas, electric blue Jack Dempsey's, Acaras, green terrors. Right now, I feel like people, because I see a lot of the waves come and go in the Facebook groups, because I own and admin a bunch of Facebook groups, and it's that's one of the big waves right now. And the flower horn deal is still super popular, and I foresee it being very popular. I think there's two big waves right now. It's the whole hybrids in flower horns, and the other route, planet tanks with rainbows and such. Guppies breed like crazy, laugh out loud. Yes, they do. Would 2 Oscars, a Firemouth, a Jack Dempsey, and a green Texas be okay in a 6 foot 125? Yes, Austin Harris. I have had that set up for quite some time. You may have to watch the Firemouth, because Firemouths don't get that big, and it's sometimes a Firemouth, like a big Oscar, will screw with like a female Firemouth, so you got to be careful, because the females stay a little smaller. I'm in California. I got the red tiger motos. Yes, the red tiger motos. The Parachromis fish are very popular right now too. I swear to God, I think I've created like this new popularity for the jaguar cichlid, and so many people are keeping them. It's super cool. So thinking about making the cichlid leap and possibly getting some multis. Any tips? Yes, just do a little bit of research. I think, how much does a 150 tank go for? 150, I would say, finally get to join one of your live streams. Yes, this chat is going crazy, and there's almost 70 people watching. That's a new high amount for the amount of people watching for quite some time. And I'm dying to get off my phone and get on my regular camera, because this phone is just acting weird on me. So I'll probably be cutting this a little bit short. I want to start getting some different views of the live streams, because I don't want it to be super boring where I just sit here and essentially just chat at my desk, you know what I mean? Even though the background's cool, it's just still, I want to kind of bring new aspects to it, you know what I'm saying? All right, let's see who else is here. Fish King says, please read this. I always watch you. I am Tofe Vlogs. I changed my name. I am starting to film. I'm uploading tomorrow. That's cool. Yeah, I noticed your screen name is the same. I'm gonna always know you as Tofe though, because you're always here and I've always known you as Tofe. So, but maybe I can get used to calling you the Fish King. I feel like that's pretty similar to the King of DIY though. I don't know. Aquaball says, my flower horn baby's living in a 200 gallon and they're changing the colors already. I see some growing amazing colors. That's cool. It's pretty odd to keep baby flower horns in a 200 gallon tank. A lot of people will keep them in like small little breeder setups essentially and raise them that way. But I can understand that the water parameters in a 200 gallon tank is going to be pretty good. Maybe you're letting the parents raise them. I don't know the scenario, I guess. All right, it's funny that I don't have cichlids yet. My pH is 8.6 as the side of right. Yeah, I would advise you to get some African cichlids, because that's a pretty high pH, man. Opinion on 2 convicts and 2 Dempseys in a 90 gallon tank. That will probably be fine. I would maybe add some more fish though, because convicts and Dempseys, they can fight and argue. I would get some blood parrots, throw them in there, some Central Americans, firemouths. Just try to overpopulate. So Charlie Barton's in the house. What's up? I come to every live stream I can. Thank you, Naturally Lochi. Naturally Loachy, do you have any, I'm guessing you're big into loaches. I'm trying to do some videos on different types of loaches. Maybe you could reach out to me and we could hook up or something and do some videos on loaches. I know I have some videos on clown loaches, but I'd like to kind of disperse and it's Michigan Aquatics. You're wondering if I sent the stickers. I have not. I lost track of your address. Your mom sent me your address. I lost track of it, and I can't remember your mom's name. The stickers have been sitting on my counter upstairs in the kitchen for the longest time. And my wife's like, you gotta get me the address. Michigan, can you resend me that address? It's literally in the envelope waiting. My wife just needs the address. What's your favorite tank you have now? My favorite tank, I really love the 150. I have some 150 longs, I guess you could call them, and they're essentially 6-foot tanks like the 125s, but they're taller. And they're just a cool tank. I really like just the 150s. You can keep a lot of cool fish in them, but I don't have a favorite tank yet. I've been looking for like a 4 feet wide tank, and essentially like a 300 gallon or something that's 4 feet wide, because let's be honest, everyone's trying to keep some stingrays, and you need that width and the footprint essentially to be wider and have some depth to it to keep stingrays. And I don't have a tank with some good depth on it right now, except for the plywood tank, but... Hey Chris, I just set up a South American Cichlid tank. Would you recommend PVC pipes? I never touched base on that. Yeah, hiding spots are huge in South American tanks setups. As you can see in all my tanks, I keep terracotta pots. I really don't like the color of it. Like you can see right there, that terracotta pot right there. It just takes away from that dark atmosphere of the Amazon waters. I wish before that, I wish that I would have covered every single terracotta pot in that expanding black foam, because it's really easy to do. Literally, it's all you do is give it a little spray, you wear some gloves and mix it all over the pot, and it makes it a dark color, and I absolutely love that. I wish I would have done that, but when they're already in your tank and established, it's a porous stone, so it grows a lot of beneficial bacteria, and I don't want to take them out because they're full of beneficial bacteria and they're like claimed hiding spots essentially. So I wish I would have done that though. So all right guys, I'm gonna end this stream. My phone is really bothering me. I'm gonna get on my regular camera. This is driving me bananas. The reason I use my phone once in a while is to kind of just move around to different tanks and start at least a live stream in that situation. But I'm gonna probably do 3 live streams tonight just because I'm really pumped up. I had a good dinner, we had some Chinese food, and I got a good Mountain Dew in me, so. Alright guys, according to Ty, dang man, I always get here late. Yes, I'm gonna be jumping into another live stream here in a second. I gotta switch cameras. This is driving me bonkers, and I'm gonna be doing another topic, so make sure to give this video a like, and let me know in the comments what I should do the next live stream on. None of you guys are even doing that, so, and hopefully the notifications work, because they've been having a lot of issues lately, but it's cool. Michigan Aquatics, my mom sent the address again. Okay, I am going to, while I'm letting this upload, I'm gonna go right on the envelope your address, and my wife's gonna get it in the mail tomorrow. So without further ado guys, I'll see you in like 10 minutes. All right, end stream. I hate doing